Hi, Matt Stait here. I just thought I'd do this quick video because I was on a Zoom call a little earlier with some of the guys where we talked about the 4N network going onto an online platform, and there was discussions about how some people would find that uncomfortable, some people aren't used to that space, and it would be quite difficult. So I was due to be given a foresight this morning at Newport. However, I've decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this little online thing instead, and I'm going to hopefully cover a few of the things that were discussed, some of the issues and some of the problems, and hopefully give a few solutions and a few quick wins and a few actionable steps that people can do right now for very little money. So basically, I run online courses, I teach online, I do this professionally, and I like to think that I'm reasonably okay with it. So what I was going to do was run through a few suggestions and give you guys the opportunity to try and catch up a little bit with the current situation because it's moving so fast. There are so many crazy things going on right now. For me, as an example, even in the time it took to have that Zoom call, I ended up having a complete shift in the entire next 5 days in my business and what I was going to do. Just like that. It's moving so quickly, everything's changing so rapidly that we have to figure out ways to try and basically keep going. I know that a lot of people are going to be impacted financially with this massively. I know that a lot of people are going to struggle, and I know that a lot of people are going to find themselves so far behind the curve, they're not sure they're going to be able to keep up. So what we've got to do, I think, as a community, as a group, is try to support one another and help one another. And if anybody has any individual skills that they can bring to bear on this to forward the group, I think now's really the time to step up to the plate and offer that. So what I'm going to try and do is give some tips from the things that I know. Now, I'm not an expert on any level, let's be clear on that, okay? I do teach online courses, I do present, but that doesn't make me an expert in public speaking, so on and so forth. I do it, but I'm not an expert, let's be clear. Okay, right, so what I want to do quickly is just run over some of the basic kit. Now, we don't have to get expensive, so let's try and make this the quickest wins that we can. So as an example, right now, I've set this up in my front room, okay? I have a phone. I have a very cheap lanyard mic, one of these. It's about 15 quid off eBay. Okay, I'm using my iPhone. I'm going to use the free editing software within that. So InShot's a really good one. Doesn't cost anything and you can use that. So that's one of the things that I'll be doing with this in a bit, because I'm not going to do this live. I'm going to record this for the plain and simple reason that I wanted to make sure that this could be sort of shareable. All right, now, I'm using my iPhone. I've got a very cheap mic, about 15 quid. This behind me, believe it or not, is a shower curtain from the local B&M bargain store that I rushed out and brought. It was £12. So that's it, guys. I've got a light on in the background, which is just a normal light. You can get expensive and buy more, but you want to make sure that especially if you're going to be foresighting, you want to make sure that you've got a decent sound quality and decent lighting. Okay, those are important because no matter how interesting the message, no matter how interesting you present, if the lighting is bad, if the sound is bad, people are going to switch off. So those are some quick wins. All right, it doesn't cost a lot and you can get those ordered right now. If you've got Amazon Prime, hey, you can be set up tomorrow. So that's essentially what I'm doing now. I've stuck up the shower curtain just to show you how simple you can do these things. All right, now, if we're looking at what else is required, now realistically, that's it. You've just then got to be able to present and be happy presenting. And so if we look at this and we say, well, all right, well, let's talk about sort of how I'm going to present myself on camera. Now, first and foremost, I always say 10% bigger. You know, people say the camera makes you appear 10% fatter. In my case, it's more, but still, you've got to be 10% more. So whatever your gestures are, whatever your movements are, however you do things, you've got to do it in a way that it's got to represent to the people on the other side of that camera. So if you think small screen, big personality, you're not far wrong. If you remember like the silent movies, for some of us that are old enough, I don't mean me, but if you remember the silent movies, they over-exaggerated everything because they had to communicate without audio. So we want to add both in together. So if I want to make a point, I'll come close. I'll be like, hey guys, as I was saying, if I want to get your attention, then I will start to speak more slowly. I will lower my tone, I will lower my volume, and I will enforce you to pay attention to what I'm saying so that I can then hammer home whatever the point is. So, I mean, these are all bog standard things, guys, but if you don't know, you don't know. So the idea is to practice. The idea is to set up, get the camera up, talk to it. One of the best things you can do for yourself is just get comfortable within this sort of space. All right? Now, when we're talking about body language, again, what we don't want is this. Oh, I'm very sorry, I'm not really sure, I don't know what I'm doing, I feel very bad about this. Okay, we've got to try and remain open. So I'm going to make eye contact with the camera. I'm going to have my hands open, I'm going to posture, and I'm just going to make sure that I'm hopefully making you feel like we're actually having a conversation. Now, something to bear in mind, guys, is that do you know that your mind doesn't understand the difference between being there in person and being there on video? So that if I'm looking at you, if I'm communicating with you, your brain registers that as an interaction. It doesn't make a difference between video in the flesh. It recognizes the interaction, and that's what we want. We want that connection, okay? So if we're looking at, well, how can we get our message across? So we can go old school. We can just get a whiteboard. You know, you can literally just get a cheap whiteboard off eBay, again, a couple of pounds, and you can get yourself a pen and you can write, you can draw, you can do whatever you need to do. So there's lots of different ways to go about this. And one of the other things that I would suggest, if you're looking to do a foresight, if you're looking to use this platform, then quite often the to and fro of the questioning kind of section may be a little clunky, a little awkward. So one of the things I would suggest would be to actually have a set question list. So some of your most asked questions. So for me, as an example, I foresight on a number of things, but one of the ones I'm doing at the moment is the platform of TikTok. Now, a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people aren't really sure how TikTok works. And so I've got a couple of questions that are already pre-framed. I know they're going to be asked, more or less. And so I can give those as stock answers. So I can do a little checklist. I can put that into my talk and I can say, okay, what are some of the common problems? You know, such as, oh, it's just for kids. Well, actually, it's not. You know, the percentages are showing that now. Or I don't know how it works. Great, we can fix that. I can tell you about the algorithms and the current thinking on that quite quickly. So whatever your space is, whatever your expertise is, whatever your presentation is, you know, you can make it fit this space with just a little bit of effort. So some of the positives to this then, because there's always got to be positives to whatever situation there is. And we have to try and look to that. We have to look to the positives, because if we just focus on the negatives, then realistically, that's probably all we're going to get from it. So let's look at the opportunities within this. Let's look at the positives. Let's look at the opportunity to grow and be better, to learn new skills. And guys, if you're talking about a networking community, which is what this is, then this is an amazing opportunity to network with people right across the UK. If you think about being geographically stuck in a location, so if I go on Foresight and it's 3 hours drive away, I've got to ask myself about the time commitment of that and the financial commitment to that and the possibilities of, is that worth it? I can stand here now today in my own front room and I can communicate with all of you right now in this moment. That is exceptionally powerful. That's an amazing opportunity that, you know, we have to get over ourselves and get on board with this now. So if you're not comfortable on this space, take some steps to get comfortable. I can help with that. Message me, give me a shout. I'll do what I can. Okay? That's what I said. We're going to have to learn to help each other through this period. So some of the pluses then, geographically, it's amazing. We can reach everybody now. I also think that it might be an idea to start librarying these kind of foresight talks. So if you're doing a foresight, make a video, put it on YouTube, put it on Vimeo, stick it on your Facebook page, open it out as a free download for people, you know, utilize it and leverage it, okay? So then you've got the techie updates, you know, all the technological advances that we can bring to bear on this, right? So there was a guy on earlier on the Zoom call, Mark, somebody, I'm not sure, I'm sorry if I got that wrong, and he instantly came up and said, hey guys, did you know you can put a back screen on? Very simple, you just do this and you do this. And it was really, really helpful. And it showed in a 10-second comment how easy it is for us to upskill our knowledge. And it was great because that was the community at work right there. And I haven't done it on this one, but I will be doing that in future. Okay, and so we can also add other things. There's editing suites and editing software that you can get. A lot of it is completely free, doesn't cost anything. We can use it to skill build. And so we can transfer this new information onto other platforms and we can start leveraging that. Okay, so there are so many pluses to this that we've got to focus on those and not the other side of the coin. Because there is a lot of shift, there is a lot of flux at the moment. There is a lot of things that, you know, that are going to impact quite strongly in lots of different ways. And nobody knows what the outcome of this will be. None of us are sure what tomorrow's going to bring, because as it stands at the moment, every day is a new day, and every day they're announcing new steps. Now, am I worried? Honestly, yes. Of course I am. Because of I don't know, the instability. But do I also see the possibility that this can teach me some really valuable lessons that I can move forward with, and I can be much better when we come out the other end? I definitely do see that. Because in adversity, there is always opportunity. And that's really where I'm going to end today, guys, is that particular phrase. In adversity, there is opportunity. And so what we need to do is see that and run towards it. So if you have any questions, if you want to know anything else, I'm at the end of the phone, I'm at the end of a message, just, give me a shout. If I can help, I will. If we can help each other, we should. And I think as a community, as a group, this is really now where we can really show the value in what it is that we are. I've only recently joined, and I've already seen the value in that. And do you know what? I'm actually really glad I've joined. There are people that are saying, well, what about, I don't want to do this online stuff. What about if can I postpone my membership? Can I sort of put it off? Can I stop paying? Okay. But I'm actually glad that I joined, because I think this is an amazing opportunity. So let's take it, guys.